Are you thinking about moving into a nursing home, or has someone in your family suggested it might be time? Before you make that decision, I need to share something with you today that could change everything. I'm going to tell you about the 6 things I wish someone had told me before I walked through those doors, because once you're in, getting out is harder than you might think. Let me start by saying this isn't about scaring you. This is about making sure you have all the information before you make one of the biggest decisions of your life. I moved into a nursing home 3 years ago, and while I'm grateful for the care I receive, there are things I would have done differently if I had known what I know now. My hope is that by sharing my story, you'll be able to make a choice that's truly right for you, not just the easiest choice for everyone else. When my daughter first brought up the idea of a nursing home, I resisted. I'd lived in my house for 42 years. I knew every creaky floorboard, every water stain on the ceiling, every neighbor on the block. But she was worried. She'd call and I wouldn't answer because I was in the garden. She'd find expired milk in my refrigerator when she visited. Once, I forgot to turn off the stove. These incidents piled up, and eventually her concern wore me down. The brochures made it look wonderful. Beautiful rooms, smiling staff, activities every day. They called it assisted living, but that's just a gentler name for the same thing. I told myself it would be like living in a hotel where someone else did the cooking and cleaning. I could finally relax, I could be safe. That's what everyone kept saying. You'll be safe there, Dad. We'll have peace of mind. So I went. And here's the first thing I wish I'd known. You lose your independence the moment you walk through that door, and you lose it in ways you never imagined. I'm not just talking about the big things, though those matter too. I'm talking about the small decisions that make up a life. When to wake up, what to eat for breakfast, whether to take a nap or go for a walk. These sound trivial until someone else is making these choices for you. In my home, if I wanted to stay up until 2 in the morning reading, I could. If I wanted eggs for dinner and cereal for breakfast, that was my business. If I wanted to sit in my favorite chair and do absolutely nothing all day, nobody questioned it. But in a nursing home, life runs on a schedule, and that schedule wasn't designed around your preferences. It was designed for efficiency. Breakfast is at 8, not 7:30 when you're actually hungry, and not 8:30 when you'd prefer to sleep in. 8 o'clock. If you miss it, you miss it. Lunch is at noon. Dinner is at 5:30, which felt absurdly early at first, though I've gotten used to it now. Activities are scheduled. Medications are distributed at specific times. Even something as personal as taking a shower often needs to be coordinated with staff availability. The loss of independence goes deeper than schedules, though. It's about identity. For 75 years, I made my own decisions. I raised children. I ran a business. I fixed things when they broke and figured things out when I didn't know the answer. Then suddenly, I needed permission to go outside. I needed someone to unlock the door to the courtyard. I needed to sign out if I wanted to take a walk around the block. And even then, they preferred I didn't go alone. I understand why these rules exist. Safety is important. But what they don't tell you is how it feels to be treated like you can no longer be trusted with your own life. Every rule, no matter how well-intentioned, sends a message. You're not capable anymore. We know better. Let us handle it. And slowly, you start to believe it. You stop questioning. You stop trying. You become what they expect you to be. Someone who needs to be managed. If I could go back, I would have fought harder. To stay home. I would have asked about home health aides who could visit a few times a week. I would have looked into meal delivery services and emergency alert systems. I would have made modifications to my house, installing grab bars and removing tripping hazards. These options existed, but nobody presented them as real alternatives. The nursing home seemed like the only solution, but it wasn't. It was just the easiest solution for everyone else. The second thing I wish I'd known is how lonely you become, and how quickly the people you love start to forget about you. I don't mean they forget you exist. I mean their lives go on without you, and you become less and less a part of those lives. In the beginning, visitors came regularly. My daughter visited twice a week. My son drove up from the city every other weekend. My grandchildren stopped by after school sometimes. For the first month, I had more social interaction than I'd had in years. I thought, maybe this won't be so bad. Maybe I'll actually see my family more often here. But gradually, inevitably, the visits became less frequent. My daughter still comes, but now it's once a week if I'm lucky, sometimes once every 2 weeks. She's busy. She has her own life, her own problems. I understand that. My son visits maybe once a month now. The grandchildren have activities, homework, friends. They have their own lives to live. Again, I understand. But understanding doesn't make it hurt less. The worst part is watching the world continue without you. My daughter tells me about family dinners I wasn't invited to. Not because they don't want me there, but because it's complicated to pick me up. And the nursing home has its own dinner schedule, and it's just easier for everyone if I stay here. Holidays are the hardest. Christmas used to be at my house. Everyone gathered there. Now they gather at my daughter's house, and I get wheeled over to a corner of the living room where I sit for a few hours before someone suggests I must be tired and offers to drive me back. You become an obligation instead of a part of the family. People visit out of duty, not desire. You can see it in their eyes, the way they glance at their watches, the relief on their faces when visiting hours are over. They love you, but they're also relieved when they can leave. And here's what nobody tells you. This loneliness is worse than the loneliness you might have felt at home. At home, if you were lonely, you could call someone, or go to the senior center, or strike up a conversation with a neighbor. You had agency. You could do something about it. Here, you're surrounded by people, but you're more isolated than ever. The other residents are dealing with their own struggles. The staff is kind but busy. And your family, the people who matter most, are living their lives somewhere else. What I would tell anyone considering a nursing home is this: don't assume you'll see your family more. You probably won't. And don't assume that being around other people will cure loneliness. It won't. True connection requires more than proximity. It requires engagement, shared experiences, feeling needed and valued. Those things are hard to find in a nursing home. The third regret is about purpose, and this one surprised me the most. I didn't realize how much of my sense of self was tied to the things I did every day until I wasn't doing them anymore. At home, I had routines and responsibilities. I made my own breakfast, which meant I had to plan what to buy at the store. I did laundry every Wednesday. I maintained the yard, which meant mowing in summer and raking in fall. I fixed things when they broke. I had projects. One year I built a bookshelf. Another year I repainted the guest room. These tasks gave structure to my days. They gave me reasons to get up in the morning. In the nursing home, all of that is gone. Meals are prepared for me. Laundry is done for me. My living space is cleaned for me. There are activities, sure. Bingo on Tuesdays. Movie night on Fridays. A book club that meets once a month. But these feel like ways to pass time, not meaningful engagement with life. I watch the clock a lot now. I never used to do that. Time used to disappear when I was working on something. Now it crawls. 10 in the morning feels the same as 2 in the afternoon. The days blur together. Monday is indistinguishable from Thursday. I'll be sitting in the common area and realize I have no idea what month it is. The loss of purpose affects your mind in ways you don't expect. When you're not actively engaging with life, solving problems, making decisions, your brain starts to slow down. I've noticed it in myself. I'm more forgetful now than I was 3 years ago, and I don't think it's just age. I think it's lack of use. Your brain is like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, it atrophies. More than that, though, losing your purpose affects your spirit. It's hard to feel valuable when you have nothing to contribute. Nobody needs you to do anything. You're not helping with dinner, or watching the grandkids, or fixing the fence. You're just here, taking up space, waiting for the next meal or the next scheduled activity. It's a terrible feeling, and it's one of the things I miss most about my old life. If I could change this, I would have insisted on keeping some responsibilities. I would have found a place that let me help in the kitchen or maintain a small garden. I would have volunteered to do something, anything that made me feel useful. And if you're considering a nursing home, please ask about this. Ask what opportunities exist for residents to remain active contributors, not just passive recipients of care. The fourth thing, and this is critical, is that your physical health often gets worse, not better, in a nursing home. This seems counterintuitive. You're in a place designed to keep you healthy and safe. There are nurses on staff, doctors make rounds. Your medications are managed carefully. So why would your health decline? Because safety and health aren't the same thing. The nursing home keeps you safe by limiting risk, but limiting risk often means limiting activity, and limiting activity destroys your health. When I first arrived, I could walk without assistance. I took daily walks around my neighborhood. I climbed stairs. I carried my own groceries. I was active and mobile. Now, 3 years later, I use a walker. My balance has deteriorated. My muscles have weakened. I get winded just walking from my room to the dining hall. This happened because the nursing home made everything too easy. There's a wheelchair available if I don't feel like walking. Staff members offer to help with tasks I could do myself if I took the time. Meals are brought to me if I don't want to go to the dining room. All of this convenience seemed like a blessing at first. Now I see it was a curse. The human body is designed to move. When you stop moving, everything starts to break down. Your muscles shrink, your bones become brittle, your heart weakens, your lungs lose capacity. Movement isn't just exercise, it's maintenance. It's how you preserve function. But nursing homes, for all their good intentions, often encourage dependency. It's faster for staff to push someone in a wheelchair than to walk slowly beside them. It's easier to help someone dress than to wait while they struggle with buttons. These small acts of assistance accumulate over time, and before you know it, you can't do things you used to do, not because you're incapable, but because you're out of practice. I've watched this happen to other residents too. People arrive walking and talking and mostly independent. Within 6 months, they're in wheelchairs. Within a year, they're confused and frail. The decline is rapid and shocking. Some of it is illness, certainly, some of it is age. But some of it, I'm convinced, is the nursing home itself. The fifth regret is about privacy and dignity. Privacy is a basic human need. It's about having space that's yours, where you can close a door and be alone with your thoughts. In a nursing home, privacy is a luxury you rarely get. My room has a door, but staff members don't always knock before entering. Even in my own room, I'm never truly alone. The bathroom is worse. I need assistance sometimes, which means someone has to be there during my most private moments. There are some things you don't want anyone else to witness, no matter how kind or understanding they are. The sixth and final thing is that getting out is almost impossible once you're in. When I agreed to move here, I thought of it as a trial. But here I am, 3 years later, and I'm not going anywhere. My house was sold. My things were dispersed. My body grew weaker. Going back isn't just difficult. It's nearly impossible. So here's what I want you to do. If you're facing this decision, explore every alternative first. Talk to your family. Ask the hard questions. Don't let anyone rush you into a decision because it's convenient for them. This is your life. These are your final years. You have the right to live them on your terms for as long as possible. Please share this video with anyone who might be facing this decision. Subscribe to this channel for more honest conversations about aging and health. And most importantly, start having these conversations with your family today, before a crisis forces a hasty decision you'll regret. Thank you for listening.